Ready? Long time no see, for real this time. It's been a good couple months, but I was planning on getting together with you all earlier than this. But as you know, with the circumstances being the way they were, with Liam leaving so late, with the NFL season going so long, there was nothing we could do about that. So, addressing that situation, first of all, thank you to Liam. Um, he did a remarkable job. Very, very proud of the work that he did in the 1 year he was here. Transformed our offense. Our guys believe in it. Did a remarkable job, and greatly appreciate him and wish him nothing but the best of luck as he moves on. Um, Very pleased. Really cannot be more thrilled to announce Rich Scangriella as the offensive coordinator. Um, it's pretty, remarkable that we're able to attract a coordinator of his caliber. He has extensive experience in this system, um, and really going back to Atlanta in 2015 as a quality control coach, but spent the last 5 years as a quarterback coach or offensive coordinator in the NFL, and is just a remarkable quarterback coach and a great experience as a play caller. So very excited about Rich and the experience that he brings, and continuing with the system that we had in place for this year. Of course, there's going to be some new twists, little changes, but in general, same system. And that's the nice thing. It's, they speak the same language with Liam and with Rich and in the two systems. There's some differences, but it'll be easy carryover. And, uh, the big thing is, we do that all the time anyway. It's the same thing defensively. You keep the same system, but there's new wrinkles, new twists, same with the offense. So, very pleased. I think it'll be a seamless transition. Um, been nothing but impressed with Rich since he's been on campus. He's hit the ground running, got in town, and just wanted to hole up in his office and work and get ready to go. And had a team meeting today, introduced him to the team. He had an offensive meeting. We had walkthroughs today, and so he got a chance to spend some time with our players and be around them and get off to the start. So we'll do that Tuesday. We'll do it Thursday, and then get back at spring practice next week. We'll have two practices before spring break. So um, after that, I'd like to wish good luck to our players. Having 7 players at the combine starting today. Greatly appreciate those guys. I miss them. Haven't seen them for a while, and I know they'll go and represent us the right way. That was 7 last year that I think we ended up canceling it because of COVID, but we had 7 players invited a year ago and 7 again this year. It says a lot about the development of our players, and again, appreciate our coaches, our strength and conditioning team, and continuing to develop those guys. Really need to recognize Josh once more for winning the Man of the Year. Remarkable young man. We really miss him and his leadership and his presence. And congratulations to him on that national award. So there's a lot to talk about. I guess I'll stop at that point and open up questions.
Mark, how important was it to kind of, when you're going out and looking for a new coach, to stay kind of in that Shanahan, I guess, McVay coaching tree?
It was very important. When Liam was here and we lost our own line coach, the first book we open was the 49ers. That's the first place we go. And Liam, first place Liam went, and that's he brought up Zach, and then we did the research on Zach, and it was kind of a no-brainer to hire him as well. And then when I come to find out that Rich had interest in this job, it really happened fast. Again, you're under some pressure just because of timing. I didn't, feel, we had a good idea this could happen. And so we were keeping things, fluid. I was keeping guys in mind, and it was remarkable the amount of candidates and the amount of people and the quality people that were interested in this job. Again, it says a lot about our coaches and our team and the way they do things to attract the people that we did. And but being so late, you do feel a little crunch, a little pressure to get things done. And so I had a very good process of some very talented coaches. And although it's kind of time consuming and strenuous to go through, it's still eye opening at times and very good to go through that process and just listen to the talented people and ideas and different things. And once again, when Rich and I connected, things moved pretty fast after that.
When spring practice opens next week and you're doing the offensive install, how much of this install is going to feel brand new to the players?
Some, but it's tinkering. I mean, the system is carryover. There's obviously the 49ers, and the Rams are different, you know what I mean? But there's enough that carries over. Um, and the terminology, it's easier for our coaches to adapt to terminology than for all of our players to learn things over. You got to remember, a year ago, just getting under center, we were unsure if we could get under center after spring. You know what I mean? So we were doing things out of pistol. We were exploring how to tweak it, how to handle things, and just the terminology alone with formations and all the shifts and all the motions and the sets. Our players were just trying to learn things for such a long time. Now we're trying to just be precise and take things to the next level. And the same with Will. Will had to comprehend all of that. Now it's just every little detail and trying to get better. And Will doesn't do a thing without just he puts so much pressure on himself. Sometimes he probably needs to just play because he's that good. But he's really trying to take his game to the next level, and I think that's our entire offense. Now we have some new coaches and we have a lot of new players too. So it'll be seamless.
So is it they're adapting? The coaches are changing what they call things, or
That's correct. Yeah, a lot of it, and we will do some different tags and do different calls. I mean, but our players will pick it up. Again, there's enough new guys that it's not it's as seamless as we can get.
Were you involved real much in the process?
I did involve Will. I did. I just felt like I really wanted his input. A year ago when I made this hire, I left and I went out and nobody was involved. Just myself and one other guy came with me to help me with the film and notes and things. But I wanted it that way. I wanted it to solely my decision. I didn't want the people in my ear. I just wanted to see it for myself. And this year it was the complete opposite because we were building on something. And so then I wanted the input this year. And so I tried to incorporate a lot of the offensive coaches and, when they can. I mean, obviously I made a lot of phone calls on my own and, things I had to do by myself, but, certain interviews, there was a lot of guys involved and as many as I could because I wanted some input. I mean, ultimately I was going to make the decision, but I wanted to hear their thoughts. And so it was good for Will to listen in and just kind of, just be a fly on the wall and listen to guys and give me his feedback.
When you're in a role, are you more comfortable just doing that on your own like you did the first time?
Well, again, I think different circumstances. A year ago, I had so much, I had so much in my head, and we'd been through a lot, and been through a lot of good things. But think about those years and the way we had to evolve, and the great job Eddie did with not having a quarterback and all those things. But systematically, I just wanted everything out of my head, and I wanted to go talk to people and get a feel for it. I didn't want coaches telling me this, you know what I mean, just influencing me. It's my decision. You're going to sink and swim with it. You know what I mean? As the head coach, and obviously it's our program, all of ours. And but quite different this year. Because I wanted to build on what we had.
Mike, you want to tend to keep the versatility of the balancing the offense and whatever.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And the uniqueness of San Francisco in that they are one of the few, not the only team to use the fullback in that scheme.
Yeah.
Anything to track with you?
No, I mean there's. We're not going to be sitting back there in 21 personnel much. So we will be in 12, just like we were last year. So it's just how you utilize that guy. Whether it's a fullback or an H-back, it's all the same. It's just semantics on certain things. But what attracts me about no. But Yeah, we'll keep the balance. I mean, obviously, I've been preaching that, and I think there's continuity. I mean, you look at San Francisco again; they're different than LA, but they're more, you know, more multiple in the run game and very, very physical football team. But again, we've been talking about that here for 9 years now and trying to be physical and building off that. What do we do well and how do we get better and take it to the next level? Obviously, last year Liam did a great job with the play passes and the strikes and the things of that nature. So, we'll continue to build on that.
Are you expecting Scott Woodward to be around and kind of what his role is going to?
Scott will be in the same role that he was in last year, wide receiver coach. hmm
Mark, you had so much success.
I know it was. Yeah. Yes. Could be, yeah, but I'm glad to keep Woody around, and he's very knowledgeable of the system, and it's easy carryover.
Mark, you had so much success recruiting to this offense in the last year. How important was it to go to those guys, especially in the age of the transfer portal, and say, what we've recruited you to do, we're still gonna do that?
Well, I think it was very important because there was a lot of buy-in. There was a lot of work. Our players were excited, but you ask them today, and I guarantee you they're just as excited today as they were a year ago when we installed for the first day. So that's the good thing, is that we have a great group and we have a culture here that the guys enjoy being around each other. They work hard. They care about each other. I think we have some great additions, and in particular Tavion and Tyshawn and the young guys that came in. I mean, they're very talented players at mid-year, but we have good guys, and they care. Like I said, they want to work and they're excited, and it doesn't take you long when you're in a meeting with Rich and you see the knowledge that's coming out of there. It's pretty remarkable. You could ask Will. I don't mind. He puts it in his own words. I mean, we were attracted to a lot of good people. I was very impressed. You learn a lot, but it doesn't take long with this guy. Like, you realize real quick, he forgot more football than most of us know.
Mark, were you surprised that Rich wanted the job? Was that kind of?
I was pleased. I was pleased. I was excited. It's funny, Liam. You guys heard that, but Liam helped me through the process too. It's really a unique situation. Most of the time, if in our world, you get a job, you're here today, gone tomorrow. And with Liam, with the way he was hired after the Super Bowl, he already knew Coach McVay. You know what I mean? So it was an easy transition. I'm sure Coach wanted to take a minute. You know what I mean? So Liam has had some time. It's kind of unique, but so he's helped me through the process. And just because I'm very confident in him. We have a good relationship, and he like I just wanted his input. You know what I mean? I wanted somebody that was speaking the same language, and when I talked to him about Rich, we were both like very excited. Talking on the phone late one evening.
What are some of the benefits to having Rich and Yinzer, who worked together last year, come to Lexington?
I think that's very important. I don't know if it would have been a deal breaker. I mean, you're going to talk to Rich, and I'm pretty open about that. Guys can say what they want. You know what I mean? But I'm sure it was probably more attractive to him knowing that he had Zach here, because it's super important to have your offensive line coach and your offense coordinator on the same page. I mean, that's a whole major piece of this offense that he knows Zach's going to speak the same language and teach it the way he wants to be. I think that's the big thing with us now, is taking it to another level, being precise, being detailed, and that's how you'll take it to another level and improve.
Did it take you off guard? Did you expect you needed to look for an O-line coach this offseason? Was that something you were anticipating?
No, I didn't, but that it worked out. Things happen for a reason. So it's pretty great the way things worked out right now. So very excited about that.
When you found an offensive line coach out of the Shanahan tree who had a viable tie to John Schlarman, I mean, that must have felt like winning the lottery.
It did. It was like, this is too good to be true. And then you get on the phone with him, and he's remarkable. His knowledge of this system is through the roof. But then you take into consideration, I mean, he reminds us so much of John. And I hate to put that on him, but it's a compliment to him. I think we all know that. If you say that about anybody, you're patting them on the back pretty good. So I think when, like I said, Liam brought it to me. I mean, the first thing we do is open the book and look, see who's at his tree that we can get. And the fact that he was tied to Kentucky and tied to John, I mean, it was an absolute no-brainer.
Specifically, what traits remind you of the two?
Well, besides the horses, no. Then the bourbon. No, no. They're just great people. It doesn't take long. Again, you spend some time with Zach, and you're going to see a guy that genuinely cares. His knowledge is there, and his knowledge of the game, his passion for the game is there. But also that connection. He's a great recruiter, and because he relates well to people. And I think there's different styles, and Coach Schlarman's style worked very well here. And Zach is a lot like him.
Coach, I know you mentioned you're looking forward, but that moment when Liam did leave, how tough was that? Just not only for you, but for Will and for C-Rod.
It was hard. Yeah, it definitely was. I guess I could tell the story how it went, and Will will attest to this. Will and I were in the weight room. I certainly wasn't working out, obviously, but we're in the weight room, and I'm walking through, just talking to guys, and connecting with our players, and just checking things out. And Will approached me, and he was like, "What's going on?" I was like, "Listen, Will," I'm like, the guy's been unbelievably loyal to us. Has turned down NFL opportunities, has turned down college opportunities, didn't blink an eye. Tough decisions, but he showed extreme loyalty because of the situation. And he knew a year ago when I talked to him, I'm like, I need 2 years, minimum. And, sometimes you don't always get that. And I was talking to Will, literally talking to Will. And I said, he's shown extreme loyalty. He's here. I said, we do have to worry about LA. You know what I mean? They just got done with the Super Bowl. I was there. And this was maybe Monday or Tuesday. I don't remember exactly what day it was after the Super Bowl. Couldn't have been Monday. I traveled home on Monday. So maybe Tuesday morning. And, I'm talking to Will. I'm saying, we just got to ride out, LA. I don't know. You know what I mean? Surely this guy just went through an unbelievably long season, and I don't know what they're going to do. I said, so we'll see. As we were talking, I'm not shitting you. He calls me, and I show Will. He just, you gotta be kidding me. So we were just talking about that, and Liam really had no idea. I think he got a call late the night before, and so he just found out. I want to say midnight the night before, and that it was even a possibility. You know what I mean? And so, I'm not sure it was a done deal at that point in time, but I know, when I got the call from Sean that he was interested in talking to Liam, that that I was disappointed, obviously, because we knew we had a good one, a great one. And, but, I'm really happy for him, and I'm really happy the way things worked out. Things happen for a reason, and we'll be fine no matter what. I mean, it's this culture, it's this organization, there's a lot of things. I mean, you look at some pretty successful team, one team in particular in this league, and probably put Georgia in that along with Alabama. They get a turnover all the time, and they continue to win. I mean, that says a lot for their program, and I wanted to do it that way where I continued the system. That makes it easier.
Obviously,
Mark,
Will
you
was
mentioned that if there is a downside of hiring NFL guys, they tend to go back to the NFL at some point.
Exactly.
Was there any hesitation about that at all, or do you think
Yeah.
that if other teams, if NFL teams want our coach, we're doing pretty well?
Yeah, I think whether it's a college system or an NFL system, if you have good people, there's a good chance you could lose them. But again, that's okay. I mean, I greatly appreciate the coaches that were here going back to year one, and the time and the commitment that they give to us. And when they're here, there's not been one guy through here that I didn't like working with. And hopefully they grab some things that they can, take with them. And I certainly learned from all the different coaches that are here. And, it is what it is. Yeah, I think it's something to be said. It's a compliment for our coordinator to be going to the world champs as a offense coordinator. I mean, it says something. But when I made that move a year ago, I know what I'm getting into. Now, with Rich, I again wanted it to be a 2-year commitment minimum. And then there's time to train all the other guys on your staff. And I've done that defensively this year. And Liam and I've talked about that. I wanted to make sure, you know, that we had somebody in place, and we didn't this year, but I will as we move forward. And this staff, the guys that I have on there right now, will be trained to be coordinators.
That piece of it, is that the most integral part of, when you see what the Alabama and Georgia, some of those teams that lose their staffs every year, is that the piece of it that you got to kind of cultivate to keep, kind of get to where you want to get, or is there other?
You're going to get changed one of two ways, right? Not getting the job done or getting the job done, right? So if you're getting the job done, then you want to keep that continuity. Does that answer? No.
You worked for your brother before, now he's gonna work for you. What's the dynamic in the defensive coach's room when the boss's brother is in there?
All good so far.
Did you make him get coffee the first day?
No, it's very good. Honestly, I really look at it, and I think Mike will tell you the same thing, that I look at it as another, a coach. I have good relationships with the coaches. I treat him the same. He treats me the same. I mean, he's I think really eager to be in a good situation again. And Mike is very professional, and he's working hard and wants to help any way he can. I think it's the right situation. We talked a couple years ago, but we had some guys in the room. We had some big picture guys in the room, and we had a lot of experience, and it wasn't the job. And as I mentioned, when you lose Clink, 2 years ago, and you lose John, now you need some guys to step in. You know what I mean? The big picture guys that can help Brad. It's just you need all hands on deck. It's a tough job, and so it's good to bring that experience in.
Those guys you mentioned were big recruiters, Clink and Summerall. Mike, I don't know if he's been on the trail in a while. How does he factor in the recruiting equation?
Yeah, I think he has to be good. We have to do good as a group, and I think our recruiting in general, if you look at it, we're all hands on deck type of recruiting. It's not any one person. You know what I mean? The coaches will be the first one to tell you that. We dive in as an organization. There's people on our campus. They feel everybody's presence, and so it's always a group.
Would you mind giving a quick breakdown of just each guy?
Sorry, Lonnie.
Sorry, no, Lonnie.
Go ahead. You were.
The marker of big blue wall that's here, the marker of, that position, big blue wall.
Mhm.
And, Coach Yenser coming in,
Mhm.
he has a little bit of a job in front of the tender that, I'm sure was never an distraction for him to come here and build out.
I think he'll be just fine. Zach is got a lot of experience, very confident in his approach and what he's doing. I'm confident in our players. Again, we have a strong culture. We have a strong offensive line culture. We do have some pieces. I mean, that was a hell of a group a year ago. I could have coached them. You know what I mean? And so now we have some guys that when you're replacing 3 pros, you got some work to do.
Could you run through quick, everyone at the combine, just what you think NFL teams are going to see out of Wandale, out of Darian, Luke?
Well, I think I'm going to lump them together. I don't want to go, I guess. I mean, you're asking 7 questions. So, Josh Pascal again. We miss him. His presence. He was a 3-time captain here. I believe that's the only time in history that we know team cap full season. I mean, that just says a lot about him. He wins the Jason Witten Man of the Year. That's a tough guy to replace. You don't replace him. You just hope his impact carries on with a lot of people. I think you'll see that. I think you'll see the way he impacted, the defense, the team, some of those things carried on. So we miss him. Yusuf, again, a guy that's played so much football for us. I can't tell you how much I appreciate him, and just a guy that just came to work every day. Really, you got to pull things out of Yusuf, and that's a confident guy. That was, again, at least a 3-year starter, but played an awful lot of football for us, and just very reliable, and fantastic person and player. Luke, I mean, what can you say about him? I mean, do you get a better person than that? I'm not sure you can. You know, I want to grow up and be like him one day. Just the respect that he commands from everybody by the way he carries himself, and great player. I think really helped himself coming back for the super senior year, and I believe he's going to be an NFL player for a long time. And remarkable man. Darian, again, just greatly appreciate Darren, the trust that he had to come back for one more year. He didn't have to. I believe he helped himself. He was a guy that was a high draft pick and played all the way through. It says a lot about his character, again, to play in the bowl game and, the sacrifice for his teammates and to finish his legacy the right way. Just really appreciate him. And the same can be said about Marquand. He could have came back for one more, but played in the bowl game, wanted to play well in the bowl game, with that matchup, with the Iowa Center and Marquand, he's hard to replace. The personality that he had, the impact, the suddenness that he plays with, great person. Wandell, that was just like Liam. It was a quick year, but I thank him, for coming back and what he did and, the impact that he had on our program in 1 year was greatly appreciated. He was another one that didn't say a word, just worked every day, tried to refine his skills, tried to get better every day, and had a big impact in 1 year. And the same with Dare, 1 year guy, but came in and really helped us and worked extremely hard. And it's hard to play left tackle in this league. So just to say.
What could be impressed? Like, what do you think NFL teams are going to be impressed with Wandell when they see him this week? I think tomorrow.
Well, I think it doesn't take long. You could watch the film and see a guy that is productive. That's the big thing is he's productive. He could get in and out of breaks. He could he could do a lot of things. You could see that in this system, and there's so many coaches in this system in the NFL that it's going to help him because he's a guy that could get open.
Drake Jackson, I believe, being added to your staff. It's now a few guys you've got that play for you here. How important is that to kind of build that, and what is Drake going to bring to the program as a coach?
Really, happy to have Drake join our staff. He's a guy that I've known since he was in, I believe it was eighth going into ninth, maybe ninth grade. Certainly when he was a freshman, and every year he came back to camp and he was one of those guys along with his father that they went to a lot of camps, and he just absorbed all the coaching, from a young age. You could tell he would be a great coach one day because he was eaten up with it. And that's why he was such a great player, is because he was a technique guy. And so he's, even though he's young, he really has a lot of experience because most people don't start when you're a freshman in high school, taking all those little things in like he did. And I saw that. I watched him do it, it's pretty remarkable that I've known the guy for that long now. I mean, it's 8 years, probably 8 years. I mean, I've known him all through his high school and all through college, so I've watched him.
One last question.
Mark, I'm trying to envision having Mike on your staff, the first time little brother has to really get after big brother. And I'm thinking, as the youngest Stoops growing up, you probably had
Hey, when you're this old and is it really bigger brother or older brother? I mean, really? I mean, I think that narrative needs to die because we're both old, so and I'm certainly big in a bad way. In a bad way. I'm trying to work out, so let me get going. All right. Thank you.